Dear students, today in the series of American literature, we will be studying Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson is a well-known American poetess. Who is Emily Dickinson? Emily Dickinson was an American poet who is considered one of the greatest poets of all time. She had a very unique style that separates her from many other poets in her time. Although most of her works were from the 19th century, she is known as one of the founders of the modernist movement in poetry. She has a unique style. Early life. She moves with family to Pleasant Street in Amherst. She attended Amherst Academy from 1840 to 1847. She felt called to be a poet at a young age. She was heavily influenced by William Wordsworth and Ralph Emerson's writing. She went to Mount Holyoke Female Cemetery. She was 17 years old and she returned home after that. Mid-1860s. Emily underwent many surgeries in the mid-1860s. She spent several months at a hospital in Boston. Last time she left Amherst. Rarely she spoke with anyone after surgeries. She was known as the woman in white. She became of the rare occurrence of leaving her house. She would always wear white. She met a man named Horace Lott who was a suitor of hers. Some say she planned to marry Lott, but it never happened. So all these influences had a very great impact in her writing. Unique writing style. She had a lot of imagery, used a lot of wit, designed lyrics, single speaker, used lot of first person, not just herself, but as a supposed speaker. She chose words very cunningly. Her writing was obscure, paradoxical. There was concentration in her writing, and her writing was familiar, like the metaphysical school of poets, which was witty, which was cunning, which was obscure, which was paradoxical and mysterious. Bring Me Sunshine in a Cup is a unique poetry. The very first stanza is noticeable for intensity as the poetess asks for a cup of sunset. And she wants the flask of dew to be opened and counted. Morning leaves, or as all of a sudden the day brightens up in the morning, and creator of this magical world is compared to a weaver bird weaving her nest. In the second stanza are all those things that can't be counted. Nature's bliss in its purest form is portrayed. Astonished birds stand for trees, surprised by the sweet melody of the robin singing out suddenly from them. The bees are madly drinking the dew from the flowers and are drunk with the sweetness. Poetess wants to know who has created the bridge of rainbow. And who bounds the obediently moving spheres in their orbits by flexible twigs of supple blue in the sky? Who strings together the ices that from the roofs of caves, and who is that counts the beaded strings of shells at night to check if it is all in place? The questioning continues. Who is it that has created all this limited mind and body, through the window of which Maya's breath cannot see clearly? Who will that be who some fine day will let me out, far, far away from the superficialities of the world? And in this way, her writing turns into a metaphysical school of writing from a nature poet, she turns into a metaphysical poet, and all her writings becomes obscure, where she points towards God, and where she asks the questions, where she is paradoxical, and her writing becomes obscure. Her writing becomes sensitive, and from simple she becomes a difficult poet. Bring Me the Sunset in a Cup is one of the finest poems on nature by Emily Dickinson. It is one of the typical poems of Dickinson, displaying her approach to nature and its rich, vibrant, and enigmatic sunsetting in the evening. She depicts her immense pleasure to watch the fascinating evening. It has many startling and finest poetic phrases. The poem is obviously on the glories of nature. The sunset and the morning, the robin and the rainbow all clearly cater the themes of nature. But the poet's treatment of a familiar theme is unusual and is charming as it is inciting. The very first line is startling in its poetic intensity, where the sunset is reduced to the content of the cup, the lawn filled with dew, and the long wide leap of the morning's brightness, and the weaver bird spinning its nest are some of the attractions of the morning. The intensity of the first line, the challenges, analysis, and explanation. Such lines of these bring Emily Dickinson close to modern poets whose poetry is not felt and communicated before it is understood. The suddenness with which the world is brightened up with the glorious light of the morning is beautifully communicated here. The weaver's bird incessantly weaving its blueness, the robin's ecstasy cannot be valued in terms of the number of its notes. The sweet honey and the terminology she used to explain that all these things are very witty. The series of questions in the fourth stanza too, the poet reassures herself that the hand of God is there behind everything in this world. The spirit and the intellect of man cannot be understood. This man's soul is to let loose from this world and as flies as the sky. This is a highly poetic and imaginative description of the relation of the planets among themselves and with the sky. And in this way, the spirit and intellect of man cannot understand this world. Man's soul is let loose from this world, and as and passing pomposity, this phrase could also mean that the human soul released from the world is barely a picture of pomposity itself. If you have liked the video, subscribe it.